We've got two constituency supplementaries. The first from Jamie Greene.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Mr Brian Jay from Saltcoats in North Ayrshire set up and runs his own wedding car company, which he invested £60,000 in, something we should all applaud in this chamber. And the company was going well until the Scottish Government introduced the Air Weapons and Licensing Act, which is now forcing additional licensing charges on private operators across Scotland. Mr Jay has now ceased to take bookings, and he's worried that he might have to close shop indefinitely. I've written to the Cabinet Secretaries for Justice and the Economy, Jobs and Fair Work asking for clarification on this matter. Can I ask the First Minister, you can heckle, but Mr Jay is sitting at home watching this and is interested in hearing what the First Minister has to say. Can I ask the First Minister, therefore, what guidance she can offer Mr Jay and many others like him across Scotland on what action the Government is taking to mitigate the negative effect this Act is having on their industry, and when it will undertake the assessments that they were promised?
First Minister.
Well, of course, the Air Weapons and Licensing Act was introduced with the interests of public safety firmly at heart. Now, I may be corrected if I'm wrong here, but I think the Conservatives voted for the bill before this Parliament. And I think they were right to do so because of the motivation of this piece of legislation. With any piece of legislation, though, it's absolutely vital that we strike the right balance between the legislation doing what it is intended to do without putting unnecessary burdens on businesses or on anybody else. Now, the member rightly says, and he's right to do this, has written to the relevant Cabinet Secretaries. I will make sure those Cabinet Secretaries reply to his correspondence, and indeed the Justice Secretary would be happy, or I'm telling him now he would be happy to meet with the business concerned to discuss his particular circumstances and whether or not there is anything further that can be done to mitigate the impact on the business. But I would hope everybody across this chamber would support the motivations and the provisions of this particular piece of legislation, because it is about protecting public safety.